Hello and welcome to today's presentation on the Community Forest Grants Management Software. We will be going over the grantor and how they will have that complete oversight, that 360 view of the entire application lifecycle, the award management process, and how they can automate the awarding process of their applicants, the reporting module, and how they can capture those reports from their applicants, as well as create reports on demand. The applicant's perspective and how they can manage their applications in one centralized location, how they can also collaborate with their internal staff to successfully submit the application to that organization, as well as provide their post-award reports. We will also be discussing the evaluator and how they will have a portal to themselves to review their assigned applicants, view the application data, the uploads or attachments that were provided, as well as how they can submit their evaluations online. Let's begin. This is the typical login page that the applicants will be directed to, where they can create their account. The admins of the site will have branding capability where they can add their logo on the top left, as well as change the theme colors, the button colors that they see, and they can also customize the welcome message that they see here. If they don't have an account, they can self-register by creating this button, where they can then fill out the registration form. Once they have their account created, they can log on to the site. And from there, it will take them to a list of the opportunities that are administered by that organization. This is used more like an Active Directory, where the organization that administers these opportunities can advertise, where the end users, the applicants, can then view a list of the opportunities and also the details. So they click View More. They can then view more information about the opportunity, the summary, the description, the eligibility. From there, they can apply. They can hit the Apply Now button. If it is within the cycle dates, they can hit the Apply Now button or continue an application they've already started. The My Applications tab will provide them with a list of the applications that they're currently working on, or applications that they've already submitted. If they've been added as a collaborator to partake in another application from another applicant, that will show up in My Collaborations tab. So this view here will also provide them with the application name, the program name, the date it was submitted, the application was submitted, and also the status of the application. If I click on the application name, it will then take me to the application dashboard. This is where the admin can customize instructions for the applicant, as well as each section of the application will be identified by a section block and an icon, as you can see here. These icons can be changed, as well as the header names. And each section will also come with a status bar, a completion bar, which will be driven by the required questions that are selected from that organization. If I go into this section here, agency profile, it will show you an example of how the questions will be presented to the applicant. Each section can also have their own custom unique instructions. And I'll scroll down. This is how the application will look. So the questions will look to the applicants. Drop-down questions, radio button questions, formatted questions, numeric question types. So there's about 28 different question types that can be used to build the application. There's also conditional logic or branch logic that can be also applied to the questions, meaning that depending on how the applicant is answering the questions, new sets of questions may open up. For example, if I go into program budget, scroll down to this question, add second funding source. If I select yes, a new question will open up, new sets of questions will open up, and it may be required. If it shows up in red, that means it's a required field. So the applicants can visually see which questions are required in order to successfully submit the application. The applicants will not be able to submit unless all the required questions are answered. There's no limit. You can apply logic to drop down questions as well, different types of questions through the system throughout this, your application. It's not just limited to radio button questions. There's also calculation questions. So, based on what's provided, the system can calculate for the applicants if necessary. So there's calculation type questions available. The applicants will also be able to provide their uploads, their attachments. You may have their own attachment section, or the attachments will be uploaded in one of the related sections. Another great feature is where they can manage the members, their colleagues, where they can invite them to manage the applications together as a team to ensure that they successfully complete all the required questions in a timely fashion. It allows them to be more efficient. Some, when they're applying, they're just a grant writer, and the documentation is requesting for program or financial information. And instead of that applicant having to go to that particular person to capture that information, they can easily invite them to the portal to collaborate on the application itself. So to add that particular user, if they're not already in the system, you can hit create user, put in information here, and it'll create their account. And when they log in, they'll see, when they go into the My Applications tab, they will see the list of the applications that we're working on under our organization that we're submitting to the organization that's administering the actual program. If we go back to another application, you can also see where the applicant can also provide post-award reports that may be required from the organization, that may open up only, that would open up only for applicants that have been awarded and need to provide a report back to that organization. This could be a mid-year, final year report. They could also have different deadline dates. So typically this will be a different deadline date in the future. 6 months after they receive the grant, they will have to go in and provide that information, which could be customized to whichever data the organization would need to capture from the awarded applicants. They can customize these questions here to capture that data. So this is what we call a post-award report. That is a new section that will open up for applicants that have been awarded that particular grant. Now let's go in as an admin. As the administrator, you will have that complete 360 oversight of the application lifecycle. So right now this is a list of their applications, their programs that they're administering, where they can see the application name, they can see the name of the grant that is associated with, as well as the cycle dates. On the right-hand side, they can see the number of applications that are currently in this cycle. Click on this program here. It will then take me to a list of the applicants that are in this cycle. So right now I have 100 applicants that are currently applying for the 2020-2021 Youth Empowerment Program. There are some search and filter options available where maybe you just want to see applicants that are still pending. From here, you can then maybe notify these applicants that the deadline's coming up soon. So I can select these applicants, select notify. There may be a template that you've already created for the notification reminder, or you can simply create the email here and use the available merge fields on the left. These emails also could be scheduled within the notification center where you can manage the templates, notify and schedule emails. So maybe this is where you're in the beginning stages of the grant and you know for a fact that you want to schedule an email to go out a week before the deadline. So you're going to select applicants that are still pending, and then you're going to select the date and timestamp. So say the 25th is the week before the deadline. So at 3 p.m. on the 25th, applicants that are still pending will receive the reminder email. Going back to the list, this is where you can view the applicants that may have already submitted. You have real-time information. So if I click on this application here, you can see in real time up the data. So if they have any issues or they're stuck, you can then have access in real time and assist the applicants through the process. If any applications need additional updates, once they submit, they cannot make any changes unless you allow them to. So the admin will also be able to, for example, if they've uploaded the wrong attachment, they can release the application back to that particular applicant and capture that updated attachment that's needed. And that will be used in the release section. So if I select the release section here, I can then select which section I'm going to release. So maybe that is the attachment section. And I'm going to give this applicant up till maybe a few days to provide the attachment, and I can provide any comments. This will be sent up via email to the applicant. Now They're instructed to go in back to the application that they have submitted, and they will only be able to make changes to the attachment section. As the admin, you will be able to use this tool to set up your review process, your committee groups. So if you may have more than one committee, or maybe just one committee, you can then go here and manage and create those groups here, manage the reviewers. Once you've added the assigned members for this committee, you can move on to your next committee and add those reviewers. There's no limit to the amount of reviewers that can be added to the system, as well as there's scoring rubrics that could be used. Scoring rubrics can be used for multi-stage processes, or if you just have one committee group with one rubric, that's totally fine. The system can also have that multi-stage process where it first goes through an LOI review, then maybe the internal staff reviews for completeness, just to make sure that the attachment they provided is correct. And then there's the committee review process, and then there's maybe the board review process. So I can show an example, a preview here, just to, as the admin, you can see an example of the rubric. The right-hand side will be the application data, which I'll get to in a reviewer perspective, but from here, you can see an example of how the rubric will look for the reviewer. So once you've created the groups, you've created the scoring rubrics, now it's time, and you've gone through the cycle, you passed the deadline, the applicants have submitted the application, now it's time for you to make those assignments. So you can use the system to assign the applicants to those particular reviewers. And here's the assignment screen. You will select the rubric with the task card that they're going to be using. You're going to display those applicants, as well as select the committee group that you want to assign the applicants to. So right now I have 5 applicants that I've submitted that are ready for evaluation, or that have been submitted and now are ready for evaluation. If all 5 applicants get reviewed 7 times by all reviewers, basically, the simple way is to select all, hit save assignment. There are some cases where maybe the applications are broken up evenly. You may have 70 applications and you want to divide that up where each application, you want to assign 10 applications to one reviewer. That way you can select 10, it will select the 10 applicants, and you can select the 10 applicants to the first reviewer. Once you've saved your assignments, you can see the assignments on the bottom. And when you're ready, you can notify the reviewers that the evaluations have been assigned, and now they can go on and review the assigned applicants. So let's log in as a reviewer. Once I sign in as a reviewer, I will then see a list of the grant programs that I may be associated with. On the left-hand side, I will see the grant name. On the right-hand side, I will see the task I'm associated with, the committee group, as well as the assigned number of applicants. If I select one of the grants here, it will take me a list of the applicants that have been assigned. And if I click on the applicant name, it will then take me to a screen of the scoring rubric and the application on the same screen. They don't have to navigate between 2 different tabs. Here's a rubric on the left-hand side. They can make this bigger if necessary. And the application on the right. This is the reviewer's perspective and how they can see the information of the applicant. And then they can submit their evaluation on the left. Once they're done, they will hit Save and Next, and now they're on to the next applicant. They will also be able to export this data to Excel if necessary. So I'm into another grant program. This is 27 applicants. Here's the statuses and how complete I am, how far complete I am. If I want to export this to Excel, I can. The reviewer can download a batch zip file and convert the applicant's application to a PDF document if necessary. So this is the reviewer's perspective and the platform that they have available, their assigned evaluations. So let's log back in as the admin. Once the evaluation process is complete, now the admin will have a combined total score and average scores of those submitted evaluations. So when I go back into the program here as the admin, when I go to Manage Awards on the left, it will take me to a list of the applicants. I will also see the grant program, the name, the budget that's available, how much has already been awarded, and what's unallocated. So you can filter out and show the applicants that have been reviewed, and you may want to sort by total score to display your top 10 applicants. So by default, the system will provide a list of your top 10 applicants. You can make this bigger if necessary. Now, if you are doing this together as a group, you need to do, you are reviewing, it is more like a narrative review process. You need access to the application. So you, in this screen, you can't access the application of the applicant. You can also access the score breakdown, so you can view the actual breakdown of the score if necessary. And when you're ready to award, you'll simply hit edit mode, and this is where they can put in that award amount. Now, if it's different between all the applicants, you can manually enter it in here separately. Now, if you have applicants that are, maybe it's the same award amount, you can actually do a batch update and update all the applicants with that award amount. When you're ready, once you save, it will deduct from your allocated budget, and then you can use the system to notify those applicants that they've been selected for that grant. And that's when that post-acceptance section could open up for that 6-month report that could be due for those applicants. Once all that's said and done, you can report on all the data that you've captured in the Manage Reports section. So here's the reports that are available, or that I've created as the admin. So one common report is a award report where I can view my awarded applicants, the name of the organization, the program name, the fund, the award amount, the fund name, and the award amount. I can view that information here and export to Excel if necessary. Excel documents are formatted as well. They will be exported in a format condition, which looks something like this. Now let's take a deeper look on the back end of how the admin can make changes to the applications, create new applications, as well as manage their programs. If I want to make any changes to an application that I've already created, I can just simply select the application name, go into the application settings, and here's where I'll see a list of each section of the application. If I want to make any changes to the icon, or maybe just change the section name, I will simply hit the edit button. This is where I can change the name of the section, change the display icon, and if I go into the section itself, this is where I can see the questions that have been created for each section, or for this particular section here. If I need to add a new question, I'll simply just hit add question. This is a no-code solution, so the user they do not need to know any HTML or JavaScript to be able to build the application or add the questions. They will simply hit add question. They will put their question name here. This is where they can select the type of question they want to use. About 20 different types of questions that they can select from. Some of these question types have settings that are available. For example, the file type question, they will have some settings available where I can select what types of files that I want to be allowed to be uploaded. Essay type questions also have like a character limit, a word count. Sorry, not just a character, but a word count. And here's where I can make it required. I can hide questions from reviewers if necessary. It may be questions within it's not needed for them to have access to a review during the evaluation process. I want to hide it from them. So that's how the admins will be able to add questions and be able to customize their application. With their funds, they can manage their funds on the back end, or they can add the funds here. They can manage the budget of each fund. This is where they put the fund name. They will select the assigned application, or the application they want to assign here, and this is where they can put in that budget. On the bottom, we'll provide a description of the particular grant that will be displayed on the listings page on the applicant's perspective. That's how simple it is to create an application, create a grant, assign that, and make it public. Once they hit publish here, it will be visible on the listings page, and now be able to start accepting applications.